Hello everyone, my name is Amog and today I'm going to teach you how to create a comic using AI assistance with Dashtoon Studio. We're going to go all the way from the very basics to advanced workflows, so hang in there all the way to the end. Let's get started. So you want to start with dashtoon.com/create. That's the URL on your web browser. We recommend using Google Chrome rather than Safari, and make sure that you're logged in. So if you're logged in, you will see your username right here. And once you're logged in, just click on the Go to Studio button. This should take you to the home page of Dashtoon Studio. Now you can simply click on Create New Dashtoon. Okay, so we're going to start with a cool new feature that we have, which is called Story to Comic. All right. So if you have a story of your own, if you already written something down, you can of course use that. You can type that out here, or if you would like an AI assisted story creation, what you can do is type a short prompt over here and have our AI create a panel by panel story for you. So I'm going to say a man is lost in a jungle and discovers an ancient lost city full of gold. Okay, I'm going to say create a story. All right, so as you can see, we have our AI generated story. Okay, so it is split panel by panel and you can read it. If you like it, you should just click next. I'm going to go with this for now. Next, we're asked to choose the style of our comic. So Dashtoon Studio offers 7 style presets as of now. You can choose any one of them. I'm going to go with the default one. And we're of course adding more style presets every week, so watch out for those. All right, so I'm going to go with the default style and click next. What it's doing now is using this story to automatically generate a few comic panels and fill in a few dialogue bubbles. So we'll wait for that. This is a great way for you to just get started. It gives you a base on top of which you can further build, right? You don't have to accept or publish the images that are created by default. You can always go and edit them. In fact, I'm going to show you how we can edit the images that are created by default. So what this is doing is actually taking your story, breaking it up into panels, converting it into prompts, assigning a character, and then creating the images as well. Okay, so we are now on the choose character screen, and Dashtoon Studio has a library of several preset characters. These are consistent characters that you need for storytelling, which means that any character that I select and use from this library will be consistent from panel to panel, and we're going to see that in just a bit. So what it says is it is cast Owen, the character of Owen, which you can find here, in the role of Jake, which is our protagonist from the story, right? I can also change my casting, so I can click on Tobias and I can say set as Jake. All right, I'm not going to do that right now. I kind of like Owen playing Jake, so I'm going to leave that as it is, and I'm going to say create Dashtoon. So what's happening now is your images are being generated. And while that's happening, I'm going to give you a little tour of this canvas, the working environment. All right. So to get started, you can see that the title of your comic is on the left. You have an episode, you have your style selection. You can go here and change your style. You have the prompt, the original prompt that I wrote, along with the story that was generated right here. Okay. Along with this, you also have what we call an objects framework. So that's going to show you, page 1, page 2, and all the different elements that we have within this page 1. And after that, you've got a zoom indicator. As you can see, this is an infinite canvas. I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can move all over the place, and this is what is going to show me where I am on the canvas. Okay. All right, and then finally we've got the report a bug feature, which we'll come to in just a bit. So let's go back to the story, and looks like our images are now generated. So let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on the canvas. All right, so it looks like we've got Jake here. He's saying this map might as well be a napkin doodle. He stumbled upon a city. Holy, is that El Dorado? And he says, oops, was that supposed to happen? What secrets do you hold? Gold is cool, but knowledge, this is priceless. Okay, interesting. These ancient people understood the stars. All right. I can find my way back. Thank you, ancient scholars. All right, perfect. That's pretty cool. And he goes back and he shows other people, okay, follow me, I know the way. And so the real treasure was not the city of gold, but the wisdom it held. Interesting. All right, I like the story. And the next stop is the mysteries of the deep sea. Okay, so Jake's an adventurer and he wants to explore the sea next. Perfect. So as you can see, the automated story or comic creation mechanism has taken, this 10-panel story, and it's created a few panels, about 10 panels for us. What it's tried to do is try to take this panel description of the story and create an image around it. All right, so let's get into that. How does this work? Now, what you see here on the page, this element is what is called a frame. Okay, a frame is almost like the fundamental building block of Dashtoon Studio. Any image that you want to generate needs to be within a frame. Okay, so you can create a frame and then request for an image to be generated within it. All our image manipulation is also going to happen within the frame. All right, and as you can see, once you've selected the frame, you can take a look at what prompt was actually used to create this. Okay, so dense jungle foliage surrounds Jake, and the character Jake is selected. So it says adult male, brown eyes, black medium hair. That's a description of the character that we call metadata. A little more on that in just a bit. He is an adventurous yet slightly clueless explorer. Jake is holding a map and a compass, looking confused and frustrated. All right, so I think the image captures the essence of the prompt fairly well. All right, so we're going to go with this. I like this image. Okay, let's stick with that. As you can see now, there are several frames that have been created in a similar way. Each of these have a prompt in them. And we reached the limit of page 1, and that's why we had to move to page 2, and the frame creation continues. All right. So what I'm going to walk you through now is we're going to generate a few frames from scratch. We're going to modify some of the frames that have already been created. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a complete comic about Jake finding the lost city of El Dorado and discovering that it has ancient astronomical knowledge in it. Okay, great. So let's start with the basics. How do I create a frame and an image in it from scratch? Okay, so the AI has already done this for me, but let's say I don't want to use this, right? I want to do it completely from scratch. How do I do it? So in the very beginning, I could have said, skip story creation. I could have landed on a blank canvas and created my entire comic right from scratch, right? I don't want to rely on the story narration. So if I want to create images on my own, I go here in my toolbar. I go to the generation frame option. This can also be accessed with the shortcut F. So let me press escape. Let me press the shortcut F. There you go. Now I can click anywhere on the canvas and a default frame of size 1024 by 1024 will be created for me. I can also select the frame tool and I can drag anywhere on the canvas to create a frame of any dimensions. Okay, it's going to give you a warning if it is above 1600 pixels. It will still generate the frame, generate the image for you, but the recommended size is to keep both dimensions under 1600 pixels. So we'll go by that. We'll go by the recommendation. Okay. All right, I have two blank frames here. How do I create an image in them? So let's start with the first one. Okay. Some of you may be familiar with AI-based image generation, and that the fundamental input that you give is called a prompt. Okay. So whenever you select a frame, we have a prompt box here that we can add a prompt in. So I'm going to add something that is a little unrelated to the story. Let's say a cat sitting in a living room. Okay. All I do is write a cat sitting in the living room, and I can hit the generate button. So when that happens, it's going to tell you that the system is generating one batch of images, and it's going to take approximately 27 seconds. All right. So this is dependent on how many people are generating images at the same time. A lot of times, in fact, most of the time, you don't have to wait for all of the 27 seconds. Like, there you go. You don't have to wait for all of it. You got an image way before 27 seconds, approximately 17 seconds or so, I guess. Okay. So you can also increase the number of images that you want to generate. So instead of one image, I want 4 images. So I can do that, and I can click on generate again. So this time, instead of clicking on the button, I'm going to use the command enter shortcut. This is on Mac. On Windows, that would be control enter. Okay. So I'm not going to click on it. My mouse could be anywhere. I'm just going to say command enter or command return on Mac. All right, and that's going to generate 4 images for you now. And there you go. Now you have 4 different variations, right? Not a lot of them may be relevant. Like that's a giant cat. Okay, that doesn't work for me. This is more to size, right? So I can choose, or I can toggle between any of these images. I can figure out which one works the best for me. And if I want to inspect any of the details, I can also zoom in here. So this is a simple, pinch to zoom on your trackpad. Okay, you could also use your mouse scroll wheel. You can use that or your pinch to zoom. So whatever works. And you can zoom in here. And once you've zoomed in, you can also, move your mouse around just to look at various parts of the image. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom out again. Okay. All right. So once I'm satisfied with this image, what I have to do is click on the apply button. And when I click on apply, that image appears within the frame. Okay. I can also zoom into my canvas here. I can zoom in, zoom out as I please. All right. Now let's try a few more things. Okay. Let's try this thing here that says enhance prompt. What does that mean? So let's say I want a really, fairly long description or a very descriptive scene of the cat in the living room, right? But I just want to save myself some time from writing a lot of words or crafting elaborate sentences. So that wordsmithing, I can just have the Dashtoon AI do it for me. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more here. A cat sitting in the living room in the morning. Okay, and I'm going to say enhance prompt. So it's going to take a few seconds, and what it's going to give you is, wow, a really elaborate prompt. So let's look at that, right? It says, it says a fluffy calico cat perched on a plush window seat in a sun-drenched living room. Soft morning light filters through billowing curtains, casting a warm golden glow on the cat's fur. The room is tastefully decorated with elegant furniture, scattered with sun-kissed throw pillows and freshly cut flowers. A steaming cup of coffee sits on a polished wooden table, accompanied by a well-loved novel. Okay, that's and there's a lot more to it. All right, so I can edit this if I want. Right, so I don't really want the novel, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, the rest of it is fine. I can also undo, and this will take me back to what my input was, right? I can request for another prompt enhancement in case I'm not happy with the first one. Okay, so this is okay. This is fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click generate with that. Now it's going to give me 4 more images. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to explain these 2 concepts, the seed and the type. All right, so the seed here is set as -1. Okay, -1 corresponds to the random value. So it's -1 because the random checkbox is checked. Now, if I uncheck it, it's going to give me some number, right? Just a large number. Might not mean much at first, but this is really, really important. So when we do image generation, you can think of the seed as a starting point. Okay, so what happens in image generation is the AI starts with a whole lot of noise. Okay, and it keeps refining and refining and refining that noise according to what you have entered in your prompt. All right, so let's say it takes 20 steps, and with each step your noise is going to be a little less noisier and a little closer to this. So gradually over a series of steps, it resolves or denoises to give you an image that is according to whatever prompt you've written. And the seed is what determines your starting noise. Okay, and what that means is that the same seed with the same prompt and the same settings will give you the exact same image. All right, now if I want to keep the prompt the same but I want a variation, I can just hit generate again, and because this is random, what it's going to do is it's going to take the same prompt, it is going to change the seed to something that's completely random, and it's going to give me a different set of 4 images. All right, okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's remove random. Okay, so what we have done now is we've kept the prompt the same, and we've generated 2 images with the same seed ending in 787. All right, let's validate whether it's the same image. So we're going to go to history. Okay, this shows you all the generations that have happened within this frame. All right, let's look at the first image here. Okay, I'm going to drag this image out on the canvas. There you go. And I'm going to go back to history, and I'm going to look at the second image here. I'm going to drag this image out onto the canvas. As you can see, both these are the exact same image. And the reason we got that was because we've kept the seed the same, we unchecked random, we kept the seed the same, and we kept the prompt the same. So same seed, same prompt, same image. All right, you can verify that again. This generation, notice these 2 chimneys here. This generation, same 2 chimneys there, right? All right, let's move on. So I'm fairly happy with this image. So we're going to apply that, and let's move forward. Now in this second frame, I'm going to show you how you can generate an image with Dashtoon's consistent characters. So with the frame selected, I'm going to click on Jake. All right, and what I get in the prompt box is Jake, adult male, brown eyes, black, medium hair. So there's Jake, and there's a description of Jake. This description, what we call as the metadata, is something that automatically gets entered into the prompt box along with the character. So I would recommend keeping this as it is and not changing it, because this really helps with the character consistency. All right, your character consistency is of course not completely determined just by this, right? It is not prompt based character consistency. We are doing something special called a LoRa, right? Or a low rank adaptation in the backend that is really giving you this consistent character, but having a consistent description of the character in the prompt, that helps. All right, so let's leave that as it is. So we want Jake sitting on a park bench. Let's do that. Cool, we've got Jake. Let's apply that. And just to confirm whether the character is consistent, let's draw a random frame again. Let's say Jake, what is our prompt? Sitting on a park bench, perfect. All right. So we should get a character that looks exactly like Jake in this frame as well. It's not going to be the same image because although we have the same prompt, the dimensions of the image are different and the seed is set to random. All right. Great. So we've got a male character where the face is pretty much the same, right? Sure, he's wearing a different colored t-shirt. Right now, Dashtoon is able to deliver consistent faces of characters. And as the next step, we are going to try and give you consistent clothes as well, right? All right, let's go here. This is a pretty good image, but my character could use a little bit of work right around here on the face, right? You can see the eyes aren't too great. So what we're going to do is go to edit mode, and we want to just enhance this part of the image. Okay, so to change just one particular part of the image, we use the mask tool. So I'm going to click on mask, and what this lets me do is draw a mask around Jake's face. Okay, I'm now going to modify the prompt to just say dense jungle foliage surrounds Jake. This is fine. An adventure is slightly clueless explorer. I'm going to get rid of holding a map and a compass. Okay. And we're just going to say looking confused and frustrated. And I'm going to generate 4 images of that. So I've tried to keep the prompt relevant only to what is under my mask, because only the region that is under the mask is actually going to be changed. All right. Now we have another interesting setting here called strength. What does strength do? So strength is what determines the amount of change you want under the mask in this case. All right. So how much does the image really change based on this prompt? So the reason we have this setting is because what's technically happening here is that this image is getting destroyed and reconstructed. Okay. So if I have my strength setting at 1, what that means is it's going to completely destroy whatever is under this mask. And if I have my strength setting at 0.1, it is barely going to change anything. So we're going to apply one of the images that we created with the 0.5 strength. This actually looks good. I like this one. Okay. All right. I also want to change the positioning of this bubble a little bit. Okay, let's do that. He's saying that, and move this a little here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's reduce the size of this a little bit. Okay, that actually sounds good. Looks good. I like this. Let's move on. All right. So to start with, let's move this bubble out of the way. Okay, there is a lot we got to change with this image. Okay, so what do? So it says falls through the foliage into a clearing, landing with a thud. He looks up in awe at the ruins of an ancient golden city bathed in sunlight. Okay, so how do we really create this? First of all, we want Jake wearing clothes, right? We don't want him like this, definitely. All right, so let's do that. Before you draw a mask, what I want to do is show you how you can, add clothes, change clothes, do any of that. All right, so he's wearing his adventurer gear. So what I'm going to do is, in the edit tab, I'm going to select the brush tool, and I'm going to go here, the color picker, where I can, select this khaki color of his shirt. All right, and I'm going to increase the width of my brush a little bit. I can decrease the opacity a little bit, and what we'll do is we're going to paint. Let's zoom in. We're going to paint like a half sleeve khaki shirt on this guy. All right, and he's also, I believe, wearing a backpack. Okay, and I might want to erase. Oops, sorry. Just this bit. Okay, and he is wearing a backpack. So we'll go to the brush again. Let's select this backpack color. Right, and we'll add what looks like a backpack here. That looks fine. I'm just going to do it very, very crudely. Okay, I don't have to be very precise. I'm going to try and be as precise as I can, but I really don't need to overdo it. All right, cool. So once I've done this, what do? Same thing that I did earlier, which is draw a mask around this, because I'm fine with the rest of the image. It's just this that I want to change. Okay, and I'm going to say explorer wearing khaki shirt and backpack. Okay, all right, that's about it. I think the expression is fine. I'm keeping the strength at 0.5, so it shouldn't change the expression too much. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try and get 4 variations of this. Great. So this image has been generated. All right. Okay, so it has changed the expression by quite a bit. So I think we need to add that in the prompt. We're going to say shocked. So I'm going to use one of my expression presets here, and I'm going to say shocked. Okay, I'll probably also do it with 0.45 strength, so it retains some of the original expression here. I think I can do a better job with the backpack. Yeah, that's what it would look like in reality. Oh, and I completely forgot to add a backpack strap here. Oh man, yeah. We should do another generation now. So anytime I want to make any modifications, I can obviously use my paintbrush while the mask is still on, but I can also just do this and oh, looks like I selected the wrong color. Okay, I think I clicked on the mask color, but I can go to my mask and I can toggle the show mask, right? And that will just change my color. So let's pick the backpack color. Yeah, I clicked on one of the green lines of the mask, I think. Perfect. Let's bring our mask back, and yeah, this looked fine. So we're just going to try and follow the same thing. Okay, while that happens, I'm going to change my tool. I'm going to work on my dialogue. Okay, so he's going to say, is this the lost city of El Dorado? Okay, let's move that here. All right, so I'm going to keep this here because I want the city to be really seen in the panel. I don't want to cover the city with the bubble, so let's stick with that. Okay, looks like we've got some output. I'm going to try just one more generation with 0.5. Let's see what happens. I think I can get better straps. All right. This looks okay. I like the first one. Let's go with the first one. Okay, so Jake is absolutely shocked that he stumbled into El Dorado. All right. Cool. Let's move on to the next panel. Okay, what does our panel really say? Exploring the city, Jake finds detailed statues and artifacts made of pure gold. While inspecting a particularly dazzling piece, he accidentally triggers a hidden mechanism. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of narration here. Right, so let's move this bubble out. I'm going to add another bubble. So let's go here, speech bubble. And I have two options here, either smart bubble or an image bubble. So let's go to smart bubble for now. Let's add narration. Okay. Just to show you what a smart bubble is like, let me change it to from narration to speech. And that's basically going to give you a tail that you can move around, right? So all the default bubbles that have been created are in fact smart bubbles. If I change the narration, there's going to be no tail. If I change it to thought, it's going to be a thought bubble. I can again move this around however I want. Okay. Oh, that's a publish pop-up. You can ignore that for now. I'm going to keep it at narration. Now, if I go to so a speech bubble of the type smart bubble is one where you can actually, resize this and, move the tail around and stuff like that, right? But we also have another type of bubble, which is an image-based bubble, which has a lot more variety in shapes, right? So you can have a bubble that's like this, but you can't really modify or move the tail and stuff around in this one, right? This is just an image preset. You have to use it as is. Okay, so I'm going to move this around a little bit, and I'm going to add a narration of while exploring the city, Jake stumbles upon mysterious artifact. Okay, so let's add that narration. Right here. That's fine, positioning wise. Okay, so in this image, we want, what do we want? We want Jake, pressing a button that accidentally triggers a hidden mechanism, right? Okay, so what we'll do here is we're going to change the composition of this image. Now I'm going to show you a few ways of doing that, and I'm going to keep this dialog bubble here. Okay, I'm also going to Control C, Control V, create a new frame here, okay, of the same size, and I'm going to do all my changes here so that whenever we're ready, we'll just replace this image. Okay, so frame 4, I'm going to go into edit now. I'm going to delete the image that's within the frame. So if you have a frame, you can click on it again, and then that will select the image that's within the frame. I'm going to delete this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a composition. I'm going to use something called live mode to paint a composition. Okay, so let's go to brush. Let's select a green brush because it's in the jungle. Okay, I'm going to give it a nice jungle background. Okay, and what this does is, without having to press the generate button each time, this tries to automatically map whatever you're creating and whatever prompt you're writing into an image as quickly as it can. Okay, so we're going to change this into, what do we want? We actually want okay, like an ancient building, right? So let's select that color. Okay, we want ancient buildings. I'm going to be very crude here. Okay, let's add a few details. All right, and maybe just a little more, say in the background. All right, now what we want here in the middle is a man, Jake, right, holding, let's say, he's holding some golden artifact. Okay, so this is, it's a poor excuse for Jake's face. All right, so what do we write here? We're going to say a man holding an ancient golden artifact in an ancient ruined city in the jungle. Okay, so as you can see, we have the same concept of strength here. All right, so because I'm drawing such a crude drawing, I actually want a lot of change in this, right? I want quite a bit of change to interpret this crude drawing into an image that really works for me. Something like that. Yeah, it's actually not bad. Right? So that's why my strength was 0.8. Okay, I know that it's interpreted this as a gold object, and it's interpreted this one as a gold object in his hand as well. So we're gonna I'm gonna go with this image. I'm gonna say apply. If you want iterations, you can change the seed. Remember what I said? The default seed was 1, but if you change the seed, that's going to create a new starting point for your image. Okay, and if I keep randomizing the seed, it's going to keep changing my image until I can keep doing that until I get something I like. Hey, this is actually nice, because it's like it's glowing and stuff. So it's like a mysterious power around him, when he's holding the artifact. I kind of like this. So I'm going to say apply. This image is not perfect though. It definitely could do with a lot of work. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into edit mode. All right. Now I'm going to actually copy the prompt from this. I'm going to go into edit mode, And I'm going to, okay, the prompt's already here, great. We want this same kind of composition, right? So live mode is what I used for quickly changing things around. But I want the same kind of composition, but I want to edit just a few things and have this as my main character, Jake. So I'm going to do this in edit mode, which is going to do a more detailed job than live can. And I'm going to keep the strength at, let's say, like a 0.4, right? Because I don't want a lot of change. And now, instead of a man, I'm going to say Jake. Okay. Let's generate 4 images of that. All right. And while that's happening, I'm hoping that a few of the randomness that's there in this image, for example the hands and things like that, that will get cleaned up when we get this generation. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It could do a better job with the hands and stuff, but we can always do another in Paint with this. Okay, I'm actually going to go with this one. Okay, cool. I want to clean this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to use this tool called a magic eraser, where I now go and oops, it's a little too much, but I can actually do that and just intelligently erase parts of the image that I don't want. Okay, that works. All right, great. Now what do I want? I want him to be wearing the same clothes, right? So live is actually a great way to change clothes. All right, so we're going to do pretty much the same thing that we did last time. Okay, we're going to add this here. We're going to add his sleeves here. Let's see if we can add a bit of a collar, right? Very poor color, but it's fine. Live mode is like an excuse for crappy drawing skills. Okay, don't worry about that too much. I have not yet masked the area that I want to change, right? So before we mask this and we say, give me an image generation only in this area, what I'm going to do is also correct the fingers a little bit. So let's do that. Perfect. All right. And now let's do this. Okay, I'm going to change the strength to 0.5, not 0.8, because again, remember that this time around I don't want a drastic change under this mask. I want to keep my original composition, right? So I'm going to say holding an ancient artifact. That's fine. I'm going to say wearing a khaki shirt and backpack. Okay, this seems okay. This is now in my generation history. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to give this a shot. My mask is already drawn. I'm in edit mode. I'm also going to try your usual generate because I think my live was a little slow and I don't have a lot of time to try as many iterations as I would have liked. Oh, this is actually good. I like this. Yeah, this is a better output than live. That's for sure. Okay, let's use this one. Okay. I'm going to also change the dialogue a little bit to say, I wonder what this artifact does. I'm going to change this from a speech bubble to a thought bubble. Okay. All right, so I want this above my, yeah, that seems right. Okay, so let's move this a little bit here. Yeah. Okay, so by the way, if I want to change the order here, I can just go to my objects hierarchy, right? I was in story. We will move to objects and we will go to page 1, and within page 1 you can see that got all these objects here, right? So if I do this, then my bubble moves behind frame 1. If I change the order here, it moves on top, right? It's almost like layers if you're familiar with Photoshop or any of those programs. Okay, this is perfect. Do I want to make this a little smaller? I think I do, yeah. That works. I'm happy with that. Okay. I'm actually gonna, what was this supposed to say? Poses inside with a mix of fear and excitement. Okay, I'm gonna delete this and I'm gonna make this, I wonder what secrets this artifact, this artifact holds. Okay, now what I want is, okay, so this opens up the doors to an ancient library, right? And then that's how we're going to continue. We're going to continue this scene. So what do? Let's create another panel here. Okay, and what we're going to do now is draw a storyboard and have our AI actually follow that storyboard to create some sort of a scene. So we're going to compose our scene using a storyboard that we draw. All right. So there's several ways to do this. I'm going to start by using one of the drawing tools we have by default. Okay. So I'm going to draw what are these? Ancient buildings. Okay. So there's a gate. This is also an ancient building. And we're going to have a man that, oh wait, I don't want this. I want doors that are open. Okay. And okay, this is a tiny human, which is basically Jake. Perfect. What I'm going to do now is in the generate tab, go from text to image to storyboard to comic. Okay, this is going to turn this ridiculous poor storyboard of a drawing into a fantastic image. What I'm going to do now is, again, I have this setting called strength. So I'm going to change my strength from 1 to something like a 0.5. So in this case, for storyboard to comic, what strength does is one will very closely follow this image, which I don't want because of the potato quality of my drawing, right? And as I reduce it, it gives the AI more and more creative liberty. All right, so I still want to kind of follow what I've drawn. So a 0.5 value works great. And I'm going to say an explorer standing in front of huge doors of an ancient lost city in the dense jungle. Okay, yeah, it's 4 images, that's fine. Let's generate. I haven't mentioned the character just yet because I want him with his back facing the camera and things like that, so I don't really want to generate his face here just yet. We will modify this depending on what our generation outcome is. Oh, that's nice. That's actually really cool. I'm gonna go with that. Wow. Okay. He is wearing a hat for some reason. I do not want the hat. I'm gonna magic erase that hat. Meanwhile, I'm going to write the prompt for what I want to generate next, which is in painting this image of the explorer. Okay, that is much better. Okay, what do we do now? So what we're going to do now is, just like we did earlier, we are going to mask this. Let me add a little bit of black for this guy's head here, and what we will do is, okay, that's too large a mask. Let's get a little more control. Alright, I don't want too much of a change, so 0.4 should be just fine. We're also going to change this to look like, giant wooden doors, and we're going to put like a library, in the background. Let's zoom into this. Okay. Yeah, this looks fine. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to try and get like large library doors here. So I'm going to use some shade of brown right from this image. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like a brown I want. Okay. So we're gonna, okay, I can click here, I can hold down shift and I can click there, and I will get, as you can see, a straight line. So click there, hold shift, click there, straight line. Cool, right? Alright, let's increase our brush size a little bit. Let's reduce our opacity a little bit so we get some sort of an effect here on this door. Cool. And I'll repeat the same thing here. So I think that was my color. Yeah, we want that. Okay, and inside, what do we want? We want a library that kind of looks like this. Okay, so let's pick out like this color. Oh, you don't want it covering him. Let's reduce our brush size. By the way, you can reduce your brush size using shortcuts as well. So if you press Command K, that's gonna just open up the shortcuts menu, and you can look at all the shortcuts here. So you'll have some shortcuts to increase and decrease the brush size. Let's look at those. You can actually, I don't need the opacity to be so low. And then let's just draw like a random bookshelves inside. I don't know. This is, yeah. Excuse my drawing skills. Let's actually draw it, yeah, with him. Okay, viewer. Okay, right. Standing in front of ancient doors to a library inside. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable to me. 0.5. Let's see what we get. We might need a couple of iterations for this, so that's okay. You don't have to get your perfect generation in the first shot, you know. It's fine if you try it a couple of times, or generate one image and then use that as a base for the next image and so on. That's perfectly normal. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's actually good. Yeah, you can't really see a library, but it's got the doors and everything. Yeah, that's actually perfect. All right, so the rest of the process, you know, to change this into Jake with wearing his khaki clothes, I think that's the same process. I've just shown that to you. So we're going to speed run this. All right, so I'm just going to do that. Pick out a khaki color. Let's actually pick it up from here. Okay, we're not going to draw his backpack because he probably left it somewhere when he came to read the books. Draw a mask. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to draw it over this. Okay, and because the prompt actually says, because the mask actually covers a book, I'm going to write in the prompt, Jake wearing a khaki shirt with collar, holding a book in an ancient library. Let's go. All right, perfect. This is fine. Okay, that's great. This is actually a really good image. The only thing I would want to change in this is just the background. Many ways to do this. You can paint over this. You can I'm not even going to do that. You can paint over this however you want, or you can just, sort of mask this, and let's see what we get. Right, I'm going to try and draw the star map on like the book itself. So what we'll do here is that, lower the opacity and just paint over that. Yeah. Okay, bring back the mask and ancient library with stacks of old books. Let's do a couple of generations, right? Let's enhance the prompt, and I did not enable the mask. Okay, so this generation, by a happy accident, you will see that does not have a mask. So what's going to happen is that it's going to take the entire image and it's going to modify it, not just what was underneath the mask. Why? Because there is no mask in this case. And yeah, that's why you get something like this, which is, also not bad, right? It's kind of what you want, right? It's still, we'll change, we didn't mention the character, so we will definitely change the character's face to reflect that, but that's fine actually, I'm going to skip the mask here now. What we will do though is draw like a star map here on the page. I'll try and make this a little clean. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to use click here, shift, and do that for the eraser as well. Oh, okay, I guess that works only for the brush. Sorry. We should have that for the eraser. Okay, and this is a star map after all, so it's gonna have like a few stars. Be a larger one there. Okay, and let's draw a line from there to there to there, 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 and maybe there. Okay, cool. That's like some constellation, I suppose. Then we have another constellation here. Okay, this time I'm going to enable the mask. I'm not going to forget. And we're going to say star map showing constellations drawn in an ancient manuscript. Okay, that's pretty cool. let's add a little bit more strength and let's try to get 4 images just to see what we get. Hey, this is actually pretty cool. Wow. That is better than I expected. So, okay, we're going to go with that. And of course, we want to correct, a bit of this. We will add another finger. We will add a little finger here. Oops. Right. And yeah, of course, we want that khaki color, right? Yeah. Okay. Oops. Let's add a little bit of finesse there. Okay. All right. What do we write as a prompt here? We're going to write Jake. What else? I'm going to actually just leave it at that. Wearing a khaki shirt, right? Right. Okay, let's go. Okay, that's cool. All right. Perfect. Okay, we have got the last image where, we've got page 2 as well. Okay, I'm actually going to conclude the story here. So we're just going to say, I can find my way back. Thank you, ancient scholars. Okay, so he figures out how to get out of there because of the star map. Okay, let's get rid of that page, and let's wrap it up here. So this is the last image I'll generate. Now to do this, I'm going to show you another storyboard to comic technique, which is how to use reference images, whether they're ones you upload or they may be ones you find in Dashtoon Studio's reference library. You're going to use these reference images as your storyboards. Okay, so here we want someone who's happy, right? So I'm just going to search for happy. Let's look at more results. Okay, interesting. That's quite a few happy people. Okay, I kind of like this one, that's celebrating, because he's so happy that he's celebrating, like, yes, I think we can use this as a reference. Let's search for another one. Celebrating. Oh, well, he doesn't have any champagne with him. These are all champagne celebrations. I think that's all the celebration stuff we've got. Okay, let's just do a Google search. Excited expression. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to go with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. Okay, I'm going to go into Dashtoon Studio. I'm just going to paste just any image from the internet. What I can do now is actually make this a little bigger. Okay, And if I want to create a frame around this image, all I have to do is select the image, press F. All right. Now, doing this will bring the image into the frame and select storyboard to comic by default. All right. This time I'm going to change the strength to 0.7. All right, because I kind of want, the contours of this storyboard to be followed pretty closely, but I don't want it to be exactly matching this. So it's not 1, because again, his facial structure is probably a little different. Okay, so I'm actually just going to say this in an ancient library. Okay. In an ancient library, or you know what, let me just say this. That's it. Okay, so oops, we're gonna take this image, we're gonna delete that for now, and in preparation I'm going to actually, okay, there we go. Yeah, it's not quite this guy, it's not quite Jake, so maybe we would benefit indeed from making it 0.5. Let's try another one at 0.6. Let's see what we get. Oh, I should actually say wearing a khaki shirt. So when I'm doing this, I'll avoid actually drawing a khaki shirt here, because I'm not taking the underlying image and editing it or modifying it. I'm using storyboard to comic. We're just trying to capture the contours of this image and create something new with it. Yeah, it's actually not bad. I'm gonna go with that. Last one's generating, so we might as well wait for that. Sure, why not? Perfect. Okay, what I'm going to do now is go to edit, and I'm going to remove the background of this image. And I'm going to click on apply. Perfect. Okay. All right. What I want to do now is just take this composition and just put this guy into this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to magic erase this entire dude. Just gone. By the way, for magic erase, you don't really need the prompt. All right, magic erase is just doing an intelligent object removal almost. Okay, it's giving me something. I'm not too worried about that now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image of which I've removed the background, and I'm going to put it into this frame. All right. Now what I'm going to do is shirt with collar. Let's try to give him a collar. In an ancient library with stacks of books. Oh, in an ancient library. That's fine. Okay, and we will make some small modifications for stuff like this. So random artifacts, let's erase those. Let's get this back to looking like it's a book. Okay. What else? I think the rest of it should just take care of itself. We can add a little bit over here because we want the window. and perhaps a little bit over here, just to clean this up. Okay, cool. That's about it. And what we'll do now is our favorite trick. We are going to mask. I'm going to be very careful to add the mask here as well. .5 is fine. Hit enter. Let's see what we got. Oh, we forgot to make him happy, excited. Yeah, the background seems fine. I think I'm okay with this. Or this. Yeah, this is okay. Oh, he's a little too excited. We just make him smiling. little too excited there. Yeah, we don't need that level of excitement. Okay, these are all okay. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with that. Okay, perfect. Great. We're actually going to copy this frame out. Okay. So duplicate that frame. Command D to duplicate that frame. And yeah, here we actually want the original thing, right? Whatever we had earlier, which was, I believe, we can do another in paint here just to see if the style is matching. This works. Okay, great. We are almost done. So all we need to do now is a little bit paneling. I can find my way back. Thank you, ancient scholars. Let's bring that down to about 50. Okay, these ancient people understood the stars. That's great. Okay, this is fine. Oh, we should move this. Oops. Great. Yeah, we're getting there. You know, I think our comic is almost ready. Alright, so this is fine. This map might as well be a napkin doodle. Is this the lost city of El Dorado? Okay, so while exploring the city, Jake stumbles upon a mysterious artifact. Alright, we want some doors opening here, right, with like a loud booming sound. So, or like a loud creaking sound. So let's add some text that says creak. Alright, of course we don't want it in this font. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, the ancient doors opened for Jake. Okay, we are going to try, yeah, narration, that sounds about right. All right, and let's also in fact add yeah, a bit of a border to this. All right, we should adjust the spacing a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of this page, okay, to the maximum, and I'm going to start moving things around. Okay, we're pretty much done with our comic. We're just trying to assemble it, and then we're going to preview it, and finally we can publish it. Okay. Okay, so we can actually select multiple objects together, and we can group them using Command or Control G. Right, so Control G. He's going to say a library. All right, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna make this a little different. We're gonna add a cool bubble here, just like that. Okay, and we'll put some text in there. So unlike a smart bubble, you have to manually add text into this one, an image bubble. Perfect. I think I can, yeah, I should probably reduce the size of this. 50 is fine. Perfect. All right, so I'm also going to say, I'm going to add a sound effect here that says like press, because he literally pressed a button, right? Press something on the ancient artifact, and that's how it opened. All right, that looks like a pretty decent comic, right? This map might as well be a napkin doodle. So he's frustrated, he's in the jungle, he stumbles upon El Dorado. Holy, is this the lost city of El Dorado? While exploring the city, Jake stumbles upon a mysterious artifact. I wonder what secrets this artifact holds. Giant doors open before Jake with like a creak sound. He's surprised to find a library inside. Gold is cool, but knowledge, this is priceless. These ancient people understood the stars. I can find my way back. Thank you, ancient scholars. Okay, so a few last things, right? I can change the background color and the gradient of the page. So I can either fill it with a solid color, or I can go for a gradient here. All right. By default, the automatic story AI assigns a gradient here. I think that got overwritten when we switched over to solid fill. So if I go here, I can click on auto gradient, and what it's going to do is it's going to extract like the prominent color, the dominant color from each of these images, and it's automatically going to apply some kind of gradient, as you can see here. And I can in fact adjust that gradient by going here. I can play around, I can move this up and so on. Okay, let's say I want a little more green. I can do that. I can get rid of this one and just have the brown here throughout. Great. Let's get rid of these images. And now what we'll do, now that we're done, is hit this button called publish. Okay, so before we publish, what we see is a preview. So this is what my comic is going to look like when I read it, right? So let's scroll through right from the top. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so what happens when I publish? So publishing will feature this Dashtoon in the shorts section of the Dashtoon mobile app. That's where users can read, like, and comment on your Dashtoon. Okay, so in case you weren't aware, Dashtoon also has a mobile app. You can find it on the iOS and Android stores. And what we have there is basically a reading experience. So now that you've created this comic, of course, you want people to read it, and they can read it on the Dashtoon mobile app. So once you publish it here, since it's a single episode, it's going to go into the shorts section. So there's a shorts section, as you can see here, on the Dashtoon app, and that's where people are going to be able to discover and read your Dashtoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click publish. All right, my Dashtoon has been published, which is great. So Golden Echoes has been published. I can now scan this QR code, and that's going to take me directly to the Dashtoon mobile app, and it's automatically going to open my published Dashtoon. So if you want to share this with your friends, you can just scan this QR code. If you haven't installed the mobile app already, it's going to take you to the iOS or the Android store from where you can install it. And the moment you install it, the first thing that's going to open is your Dashtoon. And from there, you can share it with all of your friends. You can post it on social media. You can get people to read it, to like and comment. All right. And of course, you can also copy this link and directly publish this on social media right from here. You can also visit our Discord. So the Dashtoon Studio Discord is where a lot of other Dashtoon creators are hanging out. You can hang out with me and the rest of our team. You can ask all of your questions. We're there. We're ready to help. We want to answer those for you. So do visit our Discord. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place to hang out. All right. And the last thing that I would like to leave you all with is, of course, don't forget to save your work. All right. And I now want to take you to the homepage and show you this really exciting thing called the Creators Program. So what is the Dashtoon Creators Program? It says create, publish and earn. So the Dashtoon Creator Program is a very special program that's run by our team for top creators. So if you are really interested in creating on Dashtoon, if you have published comics before, if you're a writer, any of that, right? If you're serious about creating using Dashtoon and you want to publish on Dashtoon, you want to grow your audience, you perhaps have a serialized series that you've already written down that you would like to share with the world, please publish on Dashtoon and apply to the Creator Program. Just to give you an insight of what this does, what the benefits are, you can start earning. So people who apply for the Creator Program and those who do get selected will be eligible for monetization. And once you publish your Dashtoon on the mobile app, you will be able to start earning, right? We will also help to promote your comic. So as part of the Creator Program, we're going to spend a lot of time in helping you grow your reach, grow your audience, and we're going to help you with distribution so that more and more people are able to read it. We will also have someone from our team dedicated to your success. And we're going to hold one-on-one workshops, success meetings. We're going to share tips with you. We're going to help you grow on the platform as well. And of course, we're going to have all kinds of events that are exclusive to Creative Program members. We're going to help you with improving your production value, improving your writing. You're going to get to hang out with other creators who are part of the program. And it's just going to be a really tightly knit community that we're trying to build here. Okay, so how does this work? There's a form here. All you have to do is apply. And we have a selection process by which we will notify you whether you've made it into the program. And once that's happened, someone from the Dashtoon team will get in touch with you. And we're going to kick off a cohort of a bunch of people who have applied for the Creator Program. Okay, so for one cohort, we're going to hold an elaborate series of workshops where we're going to guide you through all the nitty-gritties of creating with Dashtoon. Like I said, help with writing, help with illustration, help with corrections, editorial help, all of that. Okay, we're going to help you with all of that. We're going to help you publish, and we're going to take you through an entire, cohort-based system where, along with another bunch of creators, you're going to be taken through this journey to publish your Dashtoon. And everybody who passes through this program and creates, let's say, a minimum of 5 episodes will be eligible for monetization. You will be featured prominently on the Dashtoon mobile app, and you will be eligible for monetization. You can start earning with what you publish on Dashtoon. So here's the form. It's a fairly simple form. You can go through this, fill it up and apply, and we hope to see you in the Dashtoon Creator Program. And with that, I bid you goodbye. Happy dashing, and I can't wait to see the wonderful stuff all of you create. Thank you.